Hello everybody and welcome to this video. We are doing two things today with this video. Firstly, we're playing a new game, which you can see in the background there, and we are going to be talking about that just plenty today. The other thing that we are doing is testing a new headset. So the people of Sennheiser have been kind enough to send across the GSP 670 to test, and that is what I'm recording my voice in this video on. Now, I'm hoping it's a bit better than the last Sennheiser. You may remember about 2 weeks ago I did a video with a different model and it sounded a bit dinky, to say the least. It was not my favorite voice experience. This one is a much more expensive headset for a start. It's about $600 Australian actually, and certainly the quality of the music and whatever that comes through the speakers is very good. So I'm hoping the quality of the voice is actually a bit higher as well, and it's a bit easier to hear me and I don't sound quite so dinky. So with that said, let's talk about the game, because it's actually, well, it's a lot of fun. I think that's the nicest way, the best way to put this. It is a lot of fun, but that comes with certain disclaimers that certain people are not going to enjoy this game at all. It is Waifu Uncovered, and it is a lot of fun. So Waifu Uncovered comes from a genre that I don't usually play much of at all, the SHMUP genre, other than the occasional bout with Space Invaders or another classic of this genre. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I'm absolutely terrible at it, as you're going to see from this video footage. And because I am so terrible at it, I very rarely manage to finish these games or be particularly interested in really finishing them, because I just find them frustrating. This game, however, is certainly not a serious shmup, and it does have certain elements that are more appealing to me as somebody who likes their fan service, as I'm sure everybody who watches this channel knows. This one's promise of copious amounts of fan service going on in the background is, well, it was the big appeal to me, and that's why I decided to give this thing a go. It's very cheap on the Switch eStore. I think it's like $7 or something, and it certainly plays as a $7 game, but you're really not playing this one for the games, and there's no, you can't even joke about it. You can't even say that it's like the Playboy reading it for the articles thing. You are definitely not playing this for the gameplay. You are playing it for the fan service, and it actually kind of all comes together in a way which is incredibly B grade, but a lot of fun. Now, I will say that I've only played it for about half an hour so far, so what you're seeing is me at my absolute worst, and I'm really not, like I said, I'm not good at shmups, so if I am to actually make my way through this one, I'm going to need to put a lot more time into it. But I have been having fun with this one so far, even if it is a bit distracting. So for somebody like me who's not very good at the genre, I generally need to actually concentrate on what's happening in terms of the action, but this one deliberately wants to distract me from it with what's going on in the background, and that being the ladies are getting progressively more naked. But putting that aside, and it's not the first time that I've been distracted while playing a video game either. The Hatsune Miku games, they don't involve nudity or anything like that, but they do involve Hatsune Miku, and I tend to struggle to concentrate on the gameplay of those as well. I'm very big on the fan service in Miku games. But this one, again, it's not designed to be taken too seriously, and the basic point of it is as such. There are all these enemies that fly around the level, and you shoot them, and by shooting them, you eventually get the characters in the background into progressive states of undress, to the point where at the very end of it, they are entirely naked and just covered by strategically placed items or color swirls or whatever. But that's it. That is the whole point of this game. It is very unpretentious about what it is. It knows what it's aiming for, and it delivers entirely on that. And the fact that it kind of works is really enough. So, not that I'm by any means an expert on shmups, if you haven't already guessed that from what I've already said, but as far as I kind of feel, that what's important to a shmup is that the action is smooth, so the frame rates are consistent, that the enemy variety is there so that you have to continue to think about different ways to approach what you're doing, and so that, you know, it doesn't get into too much of a grind where you're fighting the same types of enemy each time, and that the action is big. There needs to be a lot of stuff happening on the screen in order to really test your twitch reflexes. This game does deliver on all of that. So the frame rate is smooth. As far as I can tell, I've only played it for about half an hour. This is just in first impressions, and you'll have to wait for my full review on digitallydownloaded.net, I guess, when I've had more time to put into it. But what was I saying? But from my first impressions, it is smooth. I haven't had any issues with that so far. It's also, the variety of enemies is good. What you're seeing on the screen right here in front of you, where there's a whole bunch of undestroyable rocks that I need to fight around, that's a nice bit of variety as well. So the game has everything that I kind of expect a shmup to have. I don't think it's by any means as smooth as an Ikaruga or anything, or any of the kind of top games in the genre, but it delivers on the basic elements of the genre, and then that allows it to explore its more creative side. Now, the other thing that this game obviously needed to get right is the actual fan service, because if it didn't have the cute characters and the provocative poses and costuming and whatever, it really wouldn't have gone down well, given that that's the entire point for this game to exist. And it does deliver on that. The art style is quite simple in terms of the character designs. They're by no means something that a Sunako or Mel Kishida would produce for a bigger budget JRPG or whatever. But the anime style is nice. The characters are certainly well proportioned for what they need to offer, and certainly the stripping mechanic works in terms of teasing you along as you play. So again, this game is by no means something that a lot of people will enjoy, but it has a sense of humor about it, which is very important for anything to do with fan service. When a game is fan service orientated, if it doesn't have that sense of humor, then it just comes across as really creepy. But this one is just so nuts that you have to laugh along with it. I don't think it's meant to be titillating, because it is just so over the top with its humor and the raunch factor. It's more comedy than sex appeal. So yeah, it's fun. This is the end of this video. I haven't got much else to say until I get my review out, so please do like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Please consider backing me on Patreon, because that helps me do more of these things. And if you enjoy visual novels, we have fan servicey visual novels for you as well. You can grab them on itch.io, and I will put I'll put the links in the description so you can go along and grab those as well. Thanks as always for watching and your support, and we'll see you at the next video.